Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you're welcome to pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues trending. But most important is your interruption. You can interrupt us and come up with any idea that you want to come up with. The number to call is 442-0175. And we're on RealFM 91.9. We're on YouTube and the Facebook pages of RealFM and Francis Pierre. Welcome to our program. Yesterday, a couple days ago, we spent some time speaking about young men. We have too much of our young men that seems on the antisocial side, getting themselves in trouble, flaunting the law, involved with predial larceny, end up in mental institution, hooligans. Difficult to have a meeting, not political meeting, but social meeting, a party, engagement, and you don't have violence in it. And it must be of concern to all and sundry why that is so. How do we solve this problem? We have to be a people that want to address the challenges that we are faced with. We have to believe in ourselves and have confidence in ourselves. The answers to our problem wouldn't come from United States of America or England. It would not come from China or Russia. We have to solve our problem. But all people must have the confidence and they must believe that we could solve our problem. The problems in Grenada is not unique. Some of the same problems exist in the Caribbean. And perhaps we might even be better off than some countries. We have a lot of violence in Jamaica. Some parish or counties, or what you call them in Jamaica, is operating under state of emergency. Trinidad, St. Lucia recently had to call in, seek assistance, military assistance from other Caribbean countries, the SSU. So they claim when your neighbor house on fire, take water and wet yours. We have ignored our problems too long, and we must address them. And we must serve as a think tank, whether it is in our home, it is in a community, it is in a school. The voices of our social scientists are practically non-existent. These are the individuals, perhaps, that should take the lead in Grenada addressing some of those challenges. And the philosophy, the attitude, and the utterances of our present government is frightening. Our government seems to be very insensitive to the cries of the people in the lower income group, of the people who are more challenged, of the young men. We have a number of programs that started trying to address these challenges. You had Project Fly. You had Ken Giving program. You had the Imani program. The idea was to create employment because it is always a concern when you have high unemployment among the younger generation, younger people, among the youths, when you have high unemployment among them. They are the ones with a lot of energy. And more of them seems to end up in mischief. So a new government come in power, and they seems to want to abandon these policies. And from the utterances, while in opposition, and when they come in government, if they continue on that trajectory, we're likely to have an increase in violence in the country. We like to have an increase in antisocial behavior. Look around you and see the number of vagrants, potential vagrants, and borderline vagrants that exist in the community. Look around you. See the amount of young people that are involved in pre-deal larceny. Look around you. See the amount of young people now that you're hearing involved with firearms. The cutlass was the weapon of choice in yesteryear. Obviously, everybody used a cutlass. But now you're hearing information about people with guns. In almost every community, you're hearing the loud whispering of individuals that have guns. And some communities even experience people firing guns in the night. And now you're hearing in big shows in the day, people are pulling out guns and firing them. That is not good. Those are worrying signs. This is why I always appeal to parents, because it starts there. You have the young boys that is under your control. If they're living in your home, you have some measure of control on them because they are living under your roof. And you have to face that reality. And you know, even if you don't know, the neighbors know that your sons are not behaving good. And sometimes you see the attitude from your home. The question is, what would we do? It is worrying. It is frightening. Because we seem to have a government that does not understand that their actions could help facilitate the process of violence and antisocial behavior and more people flaunting the law. Why do I say that? The government has initiated a policy of restorative justice. And the practicality and workability of restorative justice on the ground is victimization and vengeance. When these policies take root and is seriously concretized, how are we going to deal with it? We will be compounding the amount of problems we have. We have more and more gambling become part of our society. We always be tolerant to gambling. Nothing's wrong with that. I'm not against gambling. I'm gambling too. But it comes with so much regularity now, and in almost every society. One of the most worrying issues with gambling is when women start to get addicted to gambling. When women start to get addicted to gambling. We must not pretend we don't know. The message, the writing is on the wall. We must deal with it. Our schools are unproductive. Why do I say that? You might have heard me say that 1,000 times, and God's will, you will hear me say that 1,000 times more. Our schools now have no groups and organization. In yesteryear, you had scouts. Very many schools had scouts, and 4-H group and cultural club and sports group and current affairs group and hiking group. Boxing. Many, many years ago, schools even had boxing taking place in the school. And karate, swimming groups. Now, groups are fading away from the schoolhouse. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
Towards what you're speaking about, I said they are listening. They are very, very much listening, and that's very, very good. I heard the minister on GBN last night or sometimes indicating exactly what you're saying with the educational level, and they would be implementing or expanding the age to remain in school up to 18. And they would be bringing back what we used to have called, we used to have this craft center where we used to learn to bake, do woodwork and stuff like that. And I heard one of the ministers said last night, yes, they are looking to implement that. So they are listening They are listening to you. So that's very good. Thank you.
Yes, scholar, thank you. We have to be concerned. I always appeal to parents. And when I speak about parents, I basically address women. I don't speak about men much. Women. Why do I speak about women? 60% of the household in Grenada are led by a single family, a single person. They are led by women. It means there is no stationary man in the house. The woman runs the show. She may have a man in and out. The man don't have much authority. He's a visitor. 60% of the household, the children they grow up without a father constantly in the house. The influence of the father is insignificant. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, in society, historically, yes, society, we look at the cause and the effects of problems, yes, and in the society, you look at the home, the school, the community, and as a people, we have to be mindful of those causes that cause all the problems, whether at the young age, right up, and the causes and the effects. Now in society, some people, they come up with the solutions or quick fix in terms of the putting solution to the effects, yes, but not looking down or looking through the causes so that we do prevention. And that is where I believe you're advocating that at the early age, you look at the deep root and causes. Now, at the home, the parents and so on, they need the help. They need the help from the church. They need the help from whatever in the community. But government has to play a significant role in assisting. That's why there are governments who look at the low-income bracket people and come up with safety net programs that will assist the same vulnerable people, the same women of the community who are unemployed. And that is where the problems come up. And that's where the solution has to come. So when they don't get it there, the state has to come in and chip in and help to solve. So then you look at the systems and you look at the governments and you analyze who moving into direction, because it's not about that, but it's about engaging, listening, engaging, advocating, and it's about all in the society has to come on board and assist in working, to prevent those kind of issues that will lead to crime, mental health, and so on. And that is where you can have a retarded society. And nobody wants a retarded society to live on with gangsters all about the place and mental health people and people walking the road and fear, and so that is not a peaceful and stable country. And that is why I congratulate the New National Party for all the programs and so pointing into that direction in safeguarding and building livelihoods. And Mr. Pierre, I want to also say that I want my prayers go out to Senator Nolan Cox. His wife is laid to rest today. We all with you. We're praying for you. And I know God will take care of you, because Christian people don't die. They go to sleep to wake again. So I know our dear sister Diane, we will see you again when the first resurrection, we will meet and jump for joy, where all Christian people will meet again once again. So, Mr. Pierre, in closing, I want to say, keep up the good work, and let's all work together, because we want a crime-free society where all of us could enjoy. Thank you.
Yes, my sister, and the family of Brother Cox and the members of his organization, they must feel a sense of confidence that is a good and wholesome thing to pray for the dead. Based upon the scripture, the Bible says it is a good and wholesome thing to pray for the dead. So pray for the wife of Brother Cox. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Pierre.
Go right ahead.
Good day.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah, good day, brother.
Yes, man, it's good. Great.
Yeah, good day.
Yes, man.
Mr. Pierre, don't cut me off, man. He's a man, you just cut me off and attacking.
Well, sometimes I don't really cut. Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead. We don't normally cut off anybody. Sometimes you get cut off.
Mr. Pierre.
Go ahead, Chief.
I've been listening to a program this morning, and it's embarrassing to hear Miss Pierre come and tell people about the barbers and the hairdressers and so on. They means the one pass the law. All they're doing, just amending it. Mr. Pierre, do you want your people, when you go to a barber and he bad cut you and you get rash behind your head, you don't want a certified man to fix your head? Do you want a certified hairdresser to fix your head? Mr. Pierre, that is backwardness on the house of Miss Pierre and all your supporters and them, saying that shouldn't be. We want qualified people to cut your hair. We want qualified people to dress do your hairdressing. We don't want anybody just coming and scrub your head. And when you get sick, you can't charge them, you can't bring them to court, nothing. That is backwardness. That should never happen. And I fully support those people are trying to fix it. Mr. Pierre, there is something in this country that is really wrong. The people of this country trying to fix the pay and grade, the wages.
Caller, before you, caller.
Yeah.
Before you go to pay and grade, going back to the Allied law, did you hear the penalties? Did you hear the penalties
to make your
No,
yes,
caller.
Yes,
caller. I want me and you. Did you hear the penalties that was suggested under the law?
Yes.
Caller, did you hear that the insurance that the law passed that is supposed to take out doesn't exist in Grenada? You might have to go to Trinidad to get insurance. You heard that part, caller?
But you could access it.
Caller,
You could
did you hear that part?
You have a lot of people in Grenada who are doing Baba and they
Caller,
qualify their insurance
caller,
and everything.
caller.
Yes,
Did you hear
yes,
about the insurance they have to take out? They might have to go to Trinidad to do
yes.
that. Did you hear that?
You don't have to go to do that. You sourcing it from Grenada.
All right.
You
Okay.
sourcing
Go ahead to pay and grade.
that. You don't have to go into that.
Then go ahead
You
to pay and
sourcing
grade,
it.
caller.
Eh?
Then go
That
ahead to
is
your comments on pay and grade.
the pay. Well, not the pay. Not really pay. The pay. When they are adopting a new salary, a new wage bill, the wage is a discussion. I feel that one of the best things are going on in Grenada, you know. For people for 9 years, they're working for $4 an hour. And I fully
Caller,
support.
who working for $4 an hour in Grenada? You want to give me some example?
Example, they're working for $4 an hour.
Who working for $4 an hour?
Mr. Pierre, if you're working for $600 a day, it's almost $4 an hour, or you're working for $600 a month.
Okay.
It's almost $4 you're working for.
Okay.
Mr. Pierre, the police officers and them, the security men and them, these people and them used to get $4 an hour in 2012, 2013. And they changed it to $8 an hour. They're getting $8 an hour now. For 10 years, it never make a change. Mr. Pierre, we bring it to $10 an hour. That is what we recommending. Mr. Pierre, the people who are working on the road, they're working for how much dollars an hour? They're making 2 hours an hour, they're getting $40. $20 an hour they're working for. You have to work full $8 an hour for 8 days work, 8 hours work. We're paying no $10, no $20 an hour. $8 an hour. You work for 2 hours, you get paid for 2 hours. You work for 5 hours, you get paid for 5 hours. So we do it. Nowadays the work thing, or by the hours they paying you. A carpenter, right now a carpenter working for $10 an hour, $80 a day. Bring it to $12 an hour. So a carpenter will be getting at least $100 a day. Plus, in this case, Mr. Pierre, what will happen? If you work with a man, the man is compelled to pay $8 an hour or $10 an hour. He could give, if he wants, he could give extra dollar more or extra $2 more. All depends on your qualification and how you're working. So he have the power to adjust it to suit them. Mr. Pierre, I listened to the May Day rally, and it was a devastating attack on the NMP. Mr. Pierre, these guys say fools make money and white man don't spend it. And that is a fact. You could put in your paper and smoke it. Because NMP had the money there for 9 years, and they refused to pay them people their money. They watch them beg, they watch them go in court, do all kind of things. They refuse to pay these people their money. So, Mr. Pierre, that is wickedness. The NMP people and them there is wicked to do people that. Mr. Pierre, anyway, we have a good day.
All right. Thank you, caller. And maybe, caller, you may call me back tomorrow and tell me about restorative justice. What you mean by restorative justice? Please call me back and tell me, because even Deacon is not explaining to the public what he means by restorative justice. And I interpret it to mean vengeance and victimization. Yes, caller, we have a caller on the line. Welcome. You have a caller on the line? Go right ahead, caller.
Calling, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Calling from Union again, the same person.
Yes. That is yeah.
Yes, I call Union again, the same person. And the city only people beg us. So right now I have to beg for the food.
Your radio on the back kind of loud. So,
Yeah.
yes. So use the same one that call and say that they remove you from the seed program.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Shirley?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to beg to pay me water bill. Me the same one, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Right now I took back out of it because they were getting money.
They remove you from the program.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will continue to speak about it and lobby on your behalf and hope that the National Democratic Congress, I don't know, they're extremely insensitive, and every time they come in power, they go after the elderly people and physically challenge people in our country. So we will do our
2009
utmost to help you.
2009 are getting me little money. They say that stimulus package. You did not stimulus package in 2009, and this year was in power in 2009.
And you was getting from 2009,
Yes.
and now they take you out from it.
Yeah, because they say that stimulus package.
Okay. We will continue to lobby on your behalf, and we will
Yeah.
continue to appeal to the government and see if we could pound their heart and make it a little softer, and ask
Yes.
their supporters in the diaspora to beg them to stop take
Yeah.
advantage on people like you. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, daughter.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks.
very much. Yes. Thank you. So this is the cry of real people. When we speak about real people. Onisto used to be banging at us to bring them on the radio. And we were avoiding that because some people were afraid that they will be victimized further, and the children may be victimized by the government restorative justice policy. And now we hear individual calling out. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
We know that we're in a crisis. That crisis.
You might have to speak a little louder for us.
Okay. We knew that spiritually that we living in a world of crisis. But the thing about it, Grenadians, I don't know what to say about some of us. They say NMP greedy, they poor, they this and that. God helps the poor and the needy. That's who he died for. He don't die for the rich man. The Lord said that he sent the young man and tell him to go and give what he have to the poor. Did he give them? He said no. Because the poor people, he have nothing with them. He said it's better that a camel is a big beast, right? Go to the eyes of a needle than a rich man enter the kingdom of God. Right now, the sign is on the table. Christ is about to come. What Grenadians getting? That just smoke, the fire behind. Because God speak to us and he tell us what it is, and we didn't hear. Big people didn't hear. They want money. What he say? The money is the root of all evil. So they bring evil in the country. Let us take it. But what I'm going to say, I'm sorry for the little kids and them. I'm very sorry my grandchildren and other people going to pass in it. But I know that God is there and he's watching over Grenada. And he's watching over us. And he, Mr. Pierre, let me tell you something. Something is going to happen to Grenada. Not only that, a disaster, or something.
Remember, God is a merciful God too. Eh?
Definitely.
God is merciful and compassionate and forgiving.
Let me tell you something. What he said in his word, that the children that do not grow up with children in the wrong way. Train a child in the way it should be, that when he get old, he shall never depart. He shall never depart. He said, take the rod and beat the child. Grow up in the child in the right way, that when he growing up, he will know what is wrong and right. You think God was chastising us? Yes, he did. People say God doesn't beat people. Don't tell them nobody about that. He did. He destroyed the people when they was in the temple. When they went in the temple, what he made them doing? They was gambling. It's the same money. Same money that have us tied up, tangled up in the world today. So that is what's going on.
Yeah.
Stay at it. But in the beginning, what shall I say?
in the ending.
Yes.
Let us watch and pray.
Yes, thank you,
Let us
caller.
watch and pray.
Yeah.
And pray hard for Grenada. But
We have to
what
pray
God-
hard.
What God say for Grenada is going to happen because I had a vision. I speak to you and I told you, Mr. Pierre, I had a vision where a lady come from England and she said to me, Grenadians, them and he told them they didn't hear. He sent 3 aliens to come to Grenada and warn them and he tell them, prepare something, hide something. You remember that, Mr. Pierre? You don't remember that lady tell you that?
No, not really. Yeah.
Hide some sugar, hide some flour, hide something.
They're warning us to prepare for hard time.
Ah,
So that is good. When you get warning, you must act on it.
definitely.
And that's why we're calling on parents now to pay more attention to the younger boys.
You understand?
Yeah.
He said to me to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people laugh, but they better laugh. Look at the laughing now.
Yeah. Thank you,
That
caller.
is good.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller,
Mr.
welcome.
Pierre,
Go right ahead.
good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, I'm just listening to this young lady, and that's not the first time I'm hearing her get an air. I'm pleading her cause. I mean, we have 9 ministers, and not even one could try to find out where this lady living, get her address, and go to her.
Caller, they know where they live in. That is how the government implement the restorative justice. That is the government
You can't-
policy.
I mean, Mr. Pierre, we are brought. That is sounding so bad and so terrible. You hear the woman pleading her cause. She said that she was getting the little help since
Since 2009.
2009. And no, none of the ministers.
Well, that is the rest. Caller, there is a
no one
lot
could
more,
do
you
a
know.
press conference. No one could ask a question.
That is there is a lot more, you know, caller. There is a lot more.
I mean, it's sad, man. Mr. Pierre is sad, man. It's very sad to hear somebody pleading and no one listening.
She spoke and her mother called and said yes. And she gave her telephone number. And she said, if all you want to find out, come. This is my number, you could call me. But there's a lot more, you know, caller. Some of them are not bold enough
Mr. Pierre.
to call.
But we have to have a heart. We put a heart as a symbol. You understand? And we support the heart. And the heart now is just destroying us.
Caller, that
Go
is
to the
it.
people, not sometime. Go to the people all the time. You cannot go to the people when you want to vote. And now you abandon the people. Excuse after excuse.
Well, they say
after
they are
excuse.
poor, they're greedy, they're needy, they're stupid. All in disparaging remarks.
The Prime Minister come on a Monday morning and go to the market. What vendors are you going to see in the market on a Monday? Just think about it. You know? Go when the market is busy. For the people to tell you their frustration and what you could do better. Listen, Mr. Prime Minister, and you and your ministers, just listen. All the gone silence. No press conference, nothing. What are you doing to Grenada? What are you doing to this country?
Well, it's the same thing they did in 2008, you know. They sold 13
But we
pieces of
give them a
property in
second
2008.
We give them a second chance because everybody saying Dr. Mitchell have to go. And even inside of NNP, was making ruction, you know, about Dr. Mitchell had to go. You know, that's all it was. And look today, we suffering. We, the people in Grenada today, is going, you ain't gonna see no blood pressure. They better buy no blood pressure pills. Because let me tell you, people
Well, they may not
dying.
have money to buy it. They want to build a teaching hospital instead.
I mean, come on, man. Every day while you're on a plane, you're gone. You're traveling. You go to Dubai, you cannot tell the Grenadian people what was your mission in Dubai.
Go and sleep in Buckingham.
What you get and what you didn't get. Mr. Prime Minister, we support you in the diaspora. But
Yeah,
right
that's
now, he's not looking good. Try and help the lady. She need help. She begging for help. Don't turn your back on her. God is a good God, and God is good all the time, not sometimes.
yes, scholar.
Come on, man. We must do better.
Yes,
Mr. P,
thank
have a
you.
good day.
Yes. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Yeah, I want to say good afternoon to Senator Nolan Cox, Honorable Cox, and want to tell him be strong. You know, he's putting on his wife today, and you know, life goes on, and we sympathize with him. Mr. Pierre, I want to ask you two questions, right? And it's a question of definition. Can you tell me what is an adult and what is a bully? If you can answer me like in 10 seconds.
Well, adult is anybody over 18 years, you're an adult. As far as I'm concerned, and a bully is one who take advantage of the weak.
All right. Or they seem to feel taking advantage of the weak.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Pierre. I happened to listen to Honorable Pierre this morning on a program on GBN. And, you know, we in Grenada seem to be having fun with being behind profiles and saying certain things. What I want to happen is when people say certain things, we become draconian and sue them. Because you know why? You are saying things online and you're hiding behind a fake profile, but those who are not fake are saying things with the pretense they know or they feel they know. Right? I can say things about Deacon, I can say things about Ron, but I wouldn't because I have no proof of it. But these people feel they know, and the people that condone their shit, Mr. Prime Minister, Honorable Minister of National Security, Grenada will become very, and mark my words, very, very violent. This nonsense that is happening, I hear a radio host telling people to call people certain names, and this is why I call it certain names. We are teaching these things to children in school. The internet is not forgiven. Mr. PM, once again, I, Antonito, calling you out, do not let this thing reach this stage. Because watch me, it will be irreversible. Honorable Delma Thomas, your name was dragged in the mud by a certain person. Derogatory. Miss Thomas, you are a female. Your name was called dragged in the mud by a certain radio host. I am warning Grenadians. I'm not taking this lightly because let me tell you something, Mr. Pierre. When this thing started happening, they're going to say, oh, look, these people ignorant. Right? A gentleman left and go into a meeting and claim it's a public meeting in Brazil. He's announcing a party at his home. If he announced it on the radio, it's a public event. If I end up there, he can't tell me nothing. If you end up there, he can't tell you nothing. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm calling again. And for all the ministers, all the 9 ministers, including the senators, who pray, the praying mantis and all these people on them, talk to your surrogates, talk to your people. Right? Because let me tell you, disrespect is something that we tolerated in Grenada for the last 9 years. And apparently Dr. Mitchell had he back broad, he could take it. Right? But you're attacking personal people. No, you're going low down. NDC, if you all don't realize, you're all in office. You all had a majority in parliament. You understand? Africa government, stop traveling the world and not taking care of the people's business in Grenada. You understand?
Yeah.
You all doing things and you all not seeing the after effects. People are balling in Grenada, and you cannot tell me that it's only rich people that vote for NDC. NDC has supporters in Lancet, likewise NMP. NMP has supporters in Fort Judy, likewise NDC.
I think sometimes people don't understand the policy and the history of the National Democratic Congress. What the Congress is doing might be slightly disappointing, but it's not surprising.
No, it's not surprising.
Every time the Congress come in power, this time they do a little more. But it does the same thing.
They get worse.
Yeah.
Dr. Mitchell is the leader of his Majesty's opposition, and man is not in power. Why are you guys demonizing the guy? When the guy wasn't talking, you always saying, oh, the man ain't talking. You didn't see him, be quiet. But the man talking, he's talking too much.
But the NDC, but I think the situation is when supporters of the NNP, they seems to be magnifying the NDC story. But Dr. Mitchell and the members of his party has been extremely tolerant. And I think that is good for the democracy. Because they have been tolerant to criticism.
Very tolerant.
Yeah.
Very tolerant. Because Mr. Pierre, trust me.
So they have set a high template that the National Democratic members now seems to be afraid even to come on the radio in press conferences.
Like seriously, come on, 9 years, you demonize the guy doesn't have bother you. I mean, come on, nobody is doing nothing. And these things wasn't being done for things happening, but nobody is doing nothing. But you're hearing people on the NMP side getting attacked twice. Matter of fact, people passing and antagonizing supporters in terms. I would pass any supporter, I have nothing to tell them because I'm the kind of person that if somebody tell me something, I will retaliate very different.
And that is the way bully coming. They tend to prey on the weak or the suspecting weak. Yeah?
I want to play. I honestly want to play. Yeah, look at them online.
Yes.
I want to play.
Yeah.
Have a good afternoon.
Yeah. Yes, sometimes you have to ignore those online, and particularly those that do not have a profile or their names. They use a fake name to bully online. Sometimes you just have to ignore them. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, what's up?
Yes, my brother. Tell us about them cocoa, man.
No, I haven't about... Nah.
You weren't telling us about the cocoa today?
I told you...
What's about the back pay?
Call your association and I mean, get all your facts inside it. I'm not working with the cocoa system because you're selling cocoa too.
But I didn't sell cocoa, I ain't get no back pay.
I know, but call the cocoa board and anybody call and bash me on the program, I will call back if it's not yet time and I'll bash them too.
Nobody bashing you. We don't bashing you. It's a little humor.
We don't want when somebody call and give their views, somebody have to call back and say, Mr. Pierre, people have culture man and them, so you can have them on the program.
No culture. You on program a long time. You know better than that.
Yeah, but
so you don't bother with that. You ignore this stuff.
Mr. Pierre, culture man and them, so is NDC. You can have them on the...
No, culture. You know tolerant on my program.
Okay,
and I just ask for you.
Hi, in that case, the former Prime Minister with the NNP party and the NDC now going office couple of months or in couple of weeks or few days again that they'll have in 1 year in office. The NNP and the NDC who have more corruption inside it, who do the most wrongs. Care Bank. When the people call up for the money in Care Bank, the former Prime Minister, some of them get $125, some of them get small, little as nothing. Why the former Prime Minister didn't pay up all the people who was in the Care Bank and they lost all their money?
Culture man.
Yes.
When we want to speak about these things, we have to speak from authority.
But
I culture man.
Nobody
culture man.
I listen. I listen to.
Yeah, when you want to speak about it, you have to speak of the authority. The Care Bank is not a government bank.
But who was in charge of it?
Who give the
license? Who give the license unknowing to the people and them?
Culture man.
Who give Care Bank the license?
Culture man.
But Mr. Perry, you must face the facts.
Culture man.
Who give the license? I'm listening to you.
You see, when you say this thing and people call back now, you getting vexed.
No, I don't get vexed. But who gave the license or not on license?
Culture man. Culture man, when you say these things and people call back on you getting vexed.
Because
if you don't know
all the money in Care Bank, who was in charge of this time? Was the Prime Minister? Was the leader? When people call for the money, I think twice the people get some money, they did not get back all the money. It have someone in the whatever. This man used to go to funerals. He used to cry and talk about his money. No, he passed away and all his money stay back behind. But I would not call his name. No, he's a deceased. He used to cry and say, look, they took all his money in Care Bank. Look, he don't get a cent. The man died now. He lives back
Okay,
all his
so
money there. So who gets it?
Cultureman,
Yes.
now is a good time for Deacon perhaps to give them back their money? You don't feel?
Well, so is the Deacon who was in office?
Well, he's Deacon in office now.
But the former Prime Minister have to come back and deal with the people on
So
it.
you want the former Prime Minister to come back in office to deal with it?
He would not be coming back in office.
Well, then let
he would
Deacon...
not be coming back in office.
Then Culture,
Yeah.
let Deacon give them people the money. Right?
And I advise him, the former Prime Minister. He know me. I know him, and we met already. I want him to buy a yacht or whatever and go have a good time in the Caribbean.
You gonna go and sail with him, Culture?
And enjoy his 90
Culture.
million and more. Yeah.
You gonna go and sail with the former Prime Minister?
Yes.
Alright. So I hope you take that advice. Buy a yacht.
His 19 million.
Culture, you could swim?
I go float.
You gonna try? Okay. Thank you very much. Culture, thank you. So Culture is concerned about the former Prime Minister. He wants him to buy a yacht and go and sail, and Culture promised to try learn to swim and go and sail with him. You see, members of the National Democratic Congress, the name Kit Mitchell bring fear. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon,
yes,
Mr. Pierre.
welcome.
Mr. Pierre does listen to that program every time.
And sometimes you have to have a little humor in it too. Eh?
And Mr. Pierre, I hear you asking a question every time. Where he can come out?
Who sent him?
I don't know.
I always ask this question.
You asking that question.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know where he come out.
Yeah. And I'm asking this question because he's the only politician in the Caribbean that they sold as deep pocket and contacts.
And that is the only Prime Minister in the whole Caribbean what say he going to go in the school to teach the children to play job.
But he didn't say he go teach them to play job. He go and play job. But you don't juke, you don't whine, you don't dance, you don't Twitter muscle.
He say he go in the school and teach the children
First
to play job because he play job.
Yeah, right, okay.
And Mr. Pierre, this man was calling you every time. And
but we me and him good, you know. It's good to have a little discussion.
NNP people stupid.
Yeah.
He no money, he no finance.
He said that the fools could make money, but the wise people spend it.
He should be the Minister of Finance because he no money so much. I wonder if he could add, subtract,
he could add.
And divide.
Yeah, he could add and subtract.
You think?
Yeah, you see, they met the treasury with money in it, and they are spending it now. So that is why they say fools make money, but
and
rich
wise
people
men
spend
it.
And they take it away from the elderly,
yes.
the physically challenged, even children in the school. The NDC take the money from them, and now they're going and shop in the government coffers.
And tell Culture Man.
No, delete Culture Man alone. Culture Man say he go sue me.
Culture Man.
No, don't attack Culture Man. I don't want him
He know about the bank. He know about the money. He could go and get them to give the money. And he have a Prime Minister that giving out money than sand by the bay. So he could ask his Prime Minister to go and pay the people their money because they have money.
Yes,
and the Prime Minister go in Dubai, I know he come down with a bag of sand. Only that.
Yes.
And he flying north, south, east, west, but all Bo Pig have this Saturday.
Yes, thank you. All Bo Pig have this Saturday.
All Bo Pig had this Saturday.
Yeah.
Long rope for Magago.
Thank you.
Tell him great food. If they going to up.
Thank you.
He have a God.
Yeah. We want to wish him well because if he change and he does well, the country is going to benefit. It's very important for the Prime Minister to change his attitude and do well. One of the things we want him to change, to cease and desist immediately from being an agent selling passport. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Okay, I hope the callers talk about all the back issue. I hope the current ministers who are borrowing the money in millions, they find a way to pay back. Yeah?
Yeah.
I hope they'll find a way to pay back that money. Yeah? So, I mean, if you say that person thief, so he could thief too. I'm not saying that is alleged, but I hope they can pay it back. The paying back is what we're talking about, all right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the caller got it wrong when he was speaking about the former prime minister with Cap Bank. I think he got it wrong. The former, I think the government paid the people who had small investment in the bank. I don't know if it's people under $500, so they gave them back the money, something like that. So it was not the government bank, but the government decided that they're going to help to absorb the loss that the small investors made. And I think it's people up to $500. So culture get it a little wrong there. But perhaps Dick Mitchell now could give the people who up to $20,000. Because he was advertised as a man with deep pockets and a lot of contacts. And Dick Mitchell, up to today, based upon what we've seen on the internet, is an agent to sell passport. And that have to be wrong. That cannot be right. That have to be unethical. That must be immoral. So I believe Dick Mitchell should cease and desist from being an agent selling passport. And he went to Dubai, and based upon the information we have, the main reason he went to Dubai is to advertise the sale of passport. Well, if he is an agent selling passport, and he went to Dubai to advertise the sale of passport, then obviously he went there for his interest. So he should return the money that the government paid to go for him to go in Dubai. He should give it back to the Minister of Finance to put in the government coffers. The Prime Minister must have been jet-lagged, because from Dubai to Grenada back to England. And maybe if he is listening to some of the seniors, they'd have tell him to drink a double coffee. When you go in these big meetings and conferences, you don't want to be caught sleeping in the meeting. You don't want to be caught sleeping. You're just a human being, so drink a strong coffee. When you hug Daniel Ortega in Cuba, they should give you a coffee. Cuba have very good coffee. So you drink a strong coffee and you avoid desserts, pudding, ice cream and desserts. Otherwise you will sleep in Buckingham Palace. The government ministers, you have to maybe rethink your policy. The policy that the government have today would be facilitating quite a lot of social discord. You will contribute to more young people involved in violence. Why do I say that? Some of the programs that have been initiated to curb unemployment, to create more employment for younger people, the government seems to be destroying these programs. Already, as a result of meeting and people who involved in the Imani program, they're on shaky grounds, because they claim those 35 and above have to live. The caregivers, the people in Project Fly, the wardens, whether road wardens, health wardens, or traffic wardens. The government, in less than a year, over 1,500 people has lost their job as a direct result of the NDC coming into power. The number of faith-based workers that you did not pay. And this could never be fair. So although we have a number of factors that contribute to the high economy, the high cost of living in Grenada, the government action has shocked the economy. And they contributed to the cost of living. We have the international issues. But when you have international factors affecting cost of living, government intercede, government intervene, government initiate programs to help the cost of living down. But when the government increase the price of water, a very essential product, they increase the price of water. People must use it. And the government raised the price of sugar. The government contribute to the increase in cost of living. And it is compounded by the government firing people. 30 workers from Granby Estate is still home. 10 workers involved in the source of pest management is still at home languishing and perhaps eating stewing and sunsas. No justification. The $150 the government remove from the elderly, no economic justification was given. There is none, because you met a treasury that was pregnant. You collecting money. You flying all over the world as if it's some Christmas thing you win. So there is no economic justification for punishing the elderly people, the physically challenged, and the disadvantaged children. The sister from Union, I want to plead with any minister of government that still have a heart. I want to plead with you to investigate that case and publicly justify. If you feel that the sister don't deserve the money, say that. She says she has been on the program since 2009. And she has Parkinson's disease and the NDC throughout. There's a lot others, but she's crying. Others are home. They are not complaining publicly, but she's crying out. So the brothers in the diaspora, this is the situation in Grenada. This is the NDC restorative justice on the ground. We're back with you tomorrow between 12 and 1 for another program of On Target. Thank you.